What's up, everybody?
Hi.
So we're back with Vinyl Mondays. So we have a new backdrop, which you probably saw in the last video. And on this video, and the reason why is because we hightailed it all the way from Seattle, all the way back home to Colorado.
Yep.
We just came back. Did a lot of adventuring over 4 years. We might do a video on that, just talking about it, but this isn't for another time. But basically, our co-star here is Guinness today. She's going to be talking about our records and a lot of the fun stuff that we've been doing. Mm-hmm. And we're back, like I said, with Vinyl Mondays. So we're here to talk about a record from our childhood, which I loved. I still love this band. I still love this record. It's just, like we're going to talk about, it hits different.
We'll go into it. We're going to do, I think we did a Day to Remember previously, but this is one of their older records.
What Separates Me From You.
Yeah.
So, actually, do you remember where we got this record?
I got this... Fuck. I think a friend gave it to me, actually, as a present.
Really?
Yeah.
Maisie?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think. When I was, 15. I'm pretty sure... Hi! I'm pretty sure it was a gift, but...
So,
it's
here
really
is...
pretty blue.
It is gorgeous blue. So we got the cover, front and back, and then a glorious blue.
It's very nice. There's a hair on it.
It's really nice, actually. It always reminds me, so there's a manhole cover, and it says A Day to Remember on it.
Yeah.
And it always reminds me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So it comes with a manhole cover with... actually, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, it has a lot
of comes with a lot of cool art on it, yeah. So this is the first record that actually legitimately had Kevin Scaff on it.
Yes.
Which you can definitely tell, I think, his creative flow, I guess you could say, kind of changed the dynamic of the band. So this is a lot more of a pop-punky record. I think this is where they started to get more pop-punky.
Definitely more poppy.
Because what, Tom Denny is what you're saying?
Oh, I just made a comment that I think, when we were listening through this, I made a comment that I think this was the first record without Tom Denny, because I think a lot of the more, metalcore direction stuff that they did in the past, I think that was mostly because of Tom. Yeah. And then he left, and then Kevin Scaff joined the band, and I just think he's a more of a flashier, poppier guitar player than Tom Denny was, and I think most of their metalcore stuff was because of him. So I think the kind of shift in direction, I think that had a big to do with it. I know Tom Denny was still heavily involved with their songwriting and stuff, but I just think that was the difference. So my overall thoughts on this record are definitely listening back to it. I think I liked it more when I was angrier, when I was an angrier kid. Not to say I don't like it now, but it's just some of the lyrics I find a little bit more cringy, I guess, and some of the stuff I could do without, but I still like it. A lot of the tracks on here are super solid. I think Jeremy sounds great. I think it's really catchy, and the melodies are all really catchy and really good. A lot of the instrumentation is pretty good. If anything, it suffers from being samey here and there, but I mean,
yeah,
I'm not gonna harp too hard on it because they're still less samey than most bands, even when they're being samey. But yeah, I think a lot of the hooks on this are really memorable and catchy. I think Jeremy sounds great. I think he's a really good and versatile vocalist, and you can always tell what emotion he's trying to portray, and it's very obvious and in your face.
Yeah, he's a very...
He really does use his voice as an instrument, as a vocalist.
And it's very straightforward, you were saying. I agree. I was talking about earlier, I think Kevin Scaff really brought out some tonal changes to the band. It went from more hardcore-y, it went from more post-hardcore-y, kind of metalcore-y, more than post-hardcore, metalcore to more of a pop-punky route. There's a lot of guitar tones on a few songs that I'm going to mention. And I'm not angry, but I think I relate to this album more than I did when I was a kid. And I think the difference between that is because I feel like this record is a lot about basically what separates me from you. I kind of think that's what it is. It's about maybe them coming back, because Homesick was talking about a lot on tour, a lot of stuff like that, and then coming back and just me coming back to Colorado. It's meeting a lot of my friends. I'm holy shit, everything is different. This is so crazy. That being said, I still think it is one of their weaker albums.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure. And I think the reason why is because new member being added into the band. I know he did some touring and stuff like that with them, but still it adds a new dynamic. You gotta kind of feel it out.
I think that
they just came out with a fucking great record, so there might be a little bit of comparison to that. And we were talking about, am I comparing to their newer stuff.
Oh god, their newer stuff is like
it's fucking amazing.
I think so. I think my biggest gripe about this album overall is I feel like it's a little directionless and it doesn't always know where it's going. And usually with A Day to Remember, like that kind of works because like they're not really like a genre defined band per se. Like they have a little bit of something for everyone, and they have like acoustic ballads and like hard ass mosh pit songs and classic sounding super pop punk songs. So they're not really like a genre defined band. But I think it's like they've shown better examples of how they can pull that off, and I don't think this is their best effort with it. So if anything, I feel like this album gets like a little lost in itself and it kind of meanders.
I would agree to some extent. I would say that it is kind of directionless, but at the same time, I feel like this album has a clear, like overarching message. Yeah, like a theme to where it's about going back and meeting a bunch of people, and I feel like every single song is about a different person, a different story versus like a collective, and that's why there are some songs that stand out more than others and some songs that don't. I think that it had a direction. I just think that it was a direction that got misguided and kind of lost along. Maybe that be because they added a new member, they're just trying out new things. I don't know what. I think they had an overall feel for the record and what they wanted to write about, but they didn't pull it off as much as others.
So what were your favorite tracks?
So in no way, shape, or form does this mean that there are like the trash songs. It's just my top three, and then these three. So my top three favorites were, in no order, Sticks and Bricks, This House That Doubt Built, and then You'll Be Tails, I'll Be Sonic. Those are my top three.
My top three were also Tails and Sonic.
Nice.
And then All I Want and It's Complicated are my three favorites off this record. That's
actually pretty funny because my least favorites were, and this is going to piss a shit ton of people off, was All I Want.
What? What?
Nani?
Nani? Why?
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
If I Leave and Better Off This Way.
What? Yeah. All I Want?
We can talk about it, but what are
my god. I guess my least favorite, I also said If I Leave and Better Off This Way.
Nice.
Sorry, I also said This Is the House That Doubt Built is one of my least favorites.
See, that doesn't make sense to me, but...
I just feel like... the reason I put This Is the House That Doubt Built is just because I feel like... well, I don't love all the woes. I don't like the way they're mixed. Yeah. I don't like the way they're mixed. I think they sound weird. And some of like the screams that are mixed in with the verses are mixed kind of weird, and it's not my favorite. And I also feel like some of the lyrics are a tiny bit cringe, and I just feel like if there's like... It's the second most basic song on this entire record.
I would say the woes are... I don't like the woes as much, but I think this is the one song where it's really relying on yourself versus everybody else.
Right.
And kind of making your own path, and I think they pull it off fucking perfect. I don't think it's basic at all. I think that, if anything, it's more clear cut and less basic than like All Signs Point to Lauderdale.
All Signs Point to Lauderdale.
Pretty basic.
See, the thing about All Signs Point to Lauderdale, let me look at my notes here. The thing, when I said I liked this album more when I was an angry kid, I feel like especially All Signs Point to Lauderdale, I was definitely liked more as an angry kid. Like, that's, I don't want to say it sucks, but it's their most basic, and it's just about like being an angry kid who wants to leave their hometowns, like every pop punk kid's like anthem.
Getting out of this town with my friends! This song goes out to my hometown! This song goes out to anyone who successfully got out of their town!
And it's catchy, it slaps, it's fun to dance to, and the drums sound great. And like everybody will sing to that gang vocals part, but like overall as a whole work, it's basic as fuck.
I would say that's pretty basic. Yeah, it's just an edgy song about leaving your hometown.
Yeah, it's kind of dime a dozen-y.
That's exactly why I say this record is kind of it has a theme, but it's also kind of lackluster. Is also All I Want. I'm not saying it's a lackluster song at all. I think it is one of the better songs on the record, which people are probably like, well, why the fuck did you put it in your least favorite? I think that song is before its time. I think that song could have been on Common Courtesy or Bad Vibrations. It would have made way more fucking sense. I feel like it was the one outlier on this track that didn't really fit the rest of the theme at all that the record is going for, and that's the only reason why I put it in my least favorite. Not because the song was bad, it just didn't fit. Okay. It kind of just felt misplaced.
I'll agree with you that it's a bit ahead of its time, and the reason I put it in my favorites is because I think the songwriting is like leaps beyond anything else on this album. Even what you're saying about like being self-reliant, that song is super about being self-reliant and not having to like focus on anyone else and like rely on anyone else or like let the outside world affect you or your choices. It's like hella about like really relying on yourself and picking your own path and making that path happen for yourself.
The reason why these two songs, like The House of Doubt Belt and then You'll Be Tails, so the intro to both of them, the intro to Sonic, and then it was more like a staticky, like kind of a radio effect on the guitar, and it just was a nice, like, refreshing little. It was refreshing. It was a refreshing sound.
Let's flip it to the back. Yeah, I think Tails and Sonic is the best out of the three like heavy songs on this. I think Tails and Sonic was the best.
Yeah.
And I think that Second Sucks is the worst.
Second Sucks was not bad.
It's not bad, but well, no, it's
but
not bad.
Out of the heavy ones, yeah,
it's not great. And I like Sticks and Bricks. I noticed you put it on your favorite. I like Sticks and Bricks, but I hate the way the vocals sound.
It's one of my favorite breakdowns, dude.
The breakdown is fine. I just hate the way, like, his screaming sounds so throaty in it.
But then if I leave, another reason why it's my least favorite, it's just, I don't know, it kind of wrapped everything up, and it was just like, kind of looking back, like, these are the people that are around me, and some have shocked me, some haven't, you know.
I wrote a lot of mean notes about this song. I wrote filler.
Well, yeah, no,
it sounds like a demo.
It felt like they tried to wrap things up, and then it kind of wrapped things up, but then it left me like, that's literally the end of the record.
Yeah,
they
it was
finished
very
things
lackluster.
off way better before.
I said gross vocal mix, verse melody sucks, what was in backgrounds are gross, chorus lyrics are lackluster. Does Kevin sing on this? I hate the way their voices are mixed. Because, like, in the end where Kevin is singing, and, like, their voices go in and out.
Is he actually singing on that one?
I think he is.
If not,
but
then what the fuck?
Well, if he's not, then what the fuck? Maybe it's, like, Jeremy singing at two different points, but Jesus Christ.
No.
It sounds so bad. It literally sounds like they were going and the engineer forgot to hit record
did.
and he was like, oops, and he was just like muting and unmuting their microphones at random. Like, their voices don't overlap and they like cut each other off at weird points, and even when they do sing together, like, the harmony is weird, and I don't know, I hate it.
Maybe the reason why that stands out is because the
it.
harmonies are also on point. In
the rest of the album?
Yeah, the rest of the album. Like, and All I Want, the harmonies are really good.
Well, I don't... Yeah.
Again, I keep talking about this. It's one of the better songs on the record.
Best songs ever.
It just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit the theme.
Yes.
Maybe I need to reconsider.
Yeah, I think...
Maybe I should put All Signs Point to Lauderdale.
I agree. Yeah, I agree that it's ahead of its time in terms of, like, songwriting and theme, but it's so fucking good. It's one of their better songs ever.
It really is. I guess
I have nice things to say about that, because fuck if I leave.
I guess then, overall, what do you think about the record? What you kind of feel out of 5?
Overall, I gave it a 3 out of 5, and 3 is, like, it's good. It's not great, and it's not terrible, but it's fine. Like, if any of these songs came on, well, okay, some of these, like, All I Want, I go out of my way to listen to, or, like, It's Complicated, I might go out of my way to listen to, but most of these songs on this record, I feel like if they come on, I won't necessarily skip them.
Yeah.
Except for If I Leave Him Better Off This Way, fuck those songs.
I would skip those. The latter end of the record.
Yeah, I would skip most of the songs at the end, honestly, except for Tails and Sonic, but...
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I give it a 3 out of 5. It's good.
I would give it a 3 out of 5 too. That's basically what we think about the record. We're back. We're going to be doing a lot more interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think about the record. Just leave comments down below. I'd love to talk to you guys about it. What were some of your favorites? What were some of your least favorites? Send me all the hate you want about All I Want.
Jeez, I'm going to send you hate. You're going to be like, look, we got a comment. And I'm just going to be like, fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. You don't even fucking know anything about fucking music. All in capital letters.
But yeah, we got some more fun projects coming at you guys soon. Hope you guys liked it. We're back.
Yep.
And
all right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go write something that's going to make Dakota cry. Bye.